Now we're going to use the guessing game to demonstrate the debugging that's available in Visual Studio. Visual Studio has one of the best debuggers on the market, and I'm about to show you why. The key to debugging is using breakpoints. And the way we set a breakpoint is to left click in the gray bar somewhere in our program. I'm going to start where we set the answer. Now it's called a breakpoint because when we run this program in debug mode, the program is going to halt at this line. And at that point we can see what's going on in the program. We'll be able to walk through lines of code one at a time. We can hit the start button to continue onward after we've hit a breakpoint if we're done debugging. And we can set as many of these breakpoints through the code as we need to figure out what's going on or what went wrong. So I'm going to start by hitting the play button. And it's going to stop right on that line. You see how it got highlighted yellow. There's nothing on the screen yet because we haven't printed anything yet. We stopped before that. So I'm going to shrink up my Visual Studio window so that we can see the console window and Visual Studio's code at the same time. Now that we've hit the breakpoint, we can now use these arrows up top. We have step into and step over. Step into steps into a method, so it actually jump inside a method and continue chaining downward as far as it needs to go. Step over will skip over a method. It'll still run the method, everything inside the method will happen, but it'll just go to the next line in your current spot. We'll demonstrate this more later. We haven't gotten into methods yet, so I don't expect you to understand that. But right now we're going to use the step over. So as soon as I hit this button, it's going to execute this line of code. And if we look down in the lower left, there is a window here called locals. And you can see here all the variables that we have declared in this method. There is our player guess. It doesn't have a value currently. Neither does player input. That's a string. String start is null. There's that null literal I was talking about. We also have our loop control variable, is number guessed. That value is currently false. And we also have the answer, which doesn't have a value yet. It's currently set to 0. So let's hit our step over, and it's going to get us our random number. And we'll see that it set the answer to 14. Then it dropped into our do loop. Let's go to the next line. It's going to print out, enter your guess. As soon as I hit the button, it shows up on the console. Now it's ready to read from the player input. When I hit step over, the yellow bar goes away, but my console starts blinking. It's waiting for me to enter the number. So I'm going to enter 10. Now our player input is set to the string representation of 10. I'm going to step over. It's going to parse it into a number. Now it becomes the number 10. Is 10 equal to the answer? No, 10 is not equal to 14. So it's going to drop to the else statement. Is our guess greater than the answer? No, it's not. So it's going to drop into this else, and it's going to print out too low. Then we go to the while, where we're going to check our expression. Has the number been guessed yet? No. So it's going to go back to the top of the loop, and it's going to ask us for our next number. Enter the guess. Get our player input. This time I'm going to guess right. 14. Let's turn the string 14 into a number and put it in player guess. Player guess is still 10 until this statement executes. Then it reassigns it. Now it's 14. Is the player guess 14 equal to the answer of 14? Yes, it is. It's going to drop inside the if statement. It's going to print out you got it. And it's going to change our loop control variable from false to true. While not true, that's false. When the expression becomes false, the loop terminates. It drops out of the game. As soon as I hit enter on the console, the program closes and we're done. Debugging is very important to understanding what's going on in your program. I highly recommend that as you're writing applications, you put breakpoints in them and just walk through your code and just see what the compiler's doing. It's very helpful for understanding these looping and conditional constructs.